You are sitting in your living room when your cat suddenly freezes. Its pupils dilate, its ears twitch, and it begins intently tracking something across the room that is completely invisible to you. This behavior is so common and so strange that it has fueled a persistent internet theory that house cats are actually extraterrestrial observers stationed in our homes to silently record data. This chart shows a genetic divergence timeline. Over thousands of years, humans molded the wolf into hundreds of specialized breeds, from greyhounds to pugs. By comparison, the domestic cat's genetic line remains a straight, nearly unbroken path from its ancient desert ancestors. Modern house cats share almost all of their DNA with the African wildcat, a solitary desert predator. Physically and genetically, the animal sleeping on your couch is nearly identical to its ancient ancestor. To understand why a practically unaltered predator lives indoors with us, we have to look at three biological anomalies: their highly tuned physical senses, how they assimilated ancient civilizations, and why they actively refuse domestication. A cat's perception of a room is entirely different from ours. While human vision maxes out at a 180-degree field of view, cats possess a 200-degree panoramic sightline, built specifically to detect motion at the far edges of their periphery. Their whiskers function as ultra-sensitive physical antennas. They can detect microshifts in barometric pressure, meaning they feel the air move when a door opens on the other side of the house. Their auditory range is engineered to pick up high-pitched frequencies. They can clearly hear sounds as faint as a moth brushing against a lampshade or an insect scratching inside a wall. Researchers also suspect their brains contain magnetically reactive cells. This would allow them to detect weak electromagnetic fields around moving objects, helping them navigate spatial environments in total darkness. This animated diagram visualizes a Kyoto University study on feline cognition, showing cats grasp cause and effect physics. When a container rattles, a cat uses that noise to calculate the mathematical probability of a hidden object existing inside before the container is turned over. That intense gaze into an empty corner is an active response to a dense matrix of physical and acoustic data, a plane of existence humans are entirely blind to. 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, early human settlements began storing surplus grain. This attracted massive populations of rodents. Wildcats recognized the opportunity, and they moved into these farming villages to exploit the endless food supply. This opportunistic relationship peaked in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians recognized the cat's ferocity and hunting utility. Because of this, they revered the animals as active, living vessels for divine energy. This deep respect for their lethal capabilities was embodied in Sekhmet, a fierce warrior lioness goddess who protected the sun god and destroyed enemies. Over centuries, this worship evolved into the cult of Bastet, a feline goddess of the home. The cat became a household guardian, adorned with gold jewelry and the protective eye of Horus. The Egyptians built a massive economy to serve them. Temples ran sprawling breeding programs, and when cats died, they were meticulously mummified and buried in vast cemeteries to ensure they reached the afterlife. Cats successfully trained humanity's most advanced ancient empire to construct a religious, agricultural, and economic infrastructure entirely around their existence. Despite thousands of years living indoors, cats maintain total biological independence. If abandoned, a domestic cat's offspring will revert to completely wild, self-reliant hunters in just a few generations. Their communication with us is actually a highly specialized, learned behavior. In the wild, adult cats rarely vocalize to each other by meowing. This waveform graph compares an infant's cry with a domestic cat's meow. The frequencies perfectly overlap. Cats engineered this vocalization to exploit human nurturing instincts, combining it with an insistent purr, a low-frequency vibration triggering urgency, effectively demanding immediate attention. What we perceive as domestication is merely an illusion, hiding an active, highly evolved system of precise biological manipulation. Once cats established control in early settlements, they used human expansion as their ultimate survival strategy. They gained free access to food and shelter across every continent we settled. When global maritime trade routes expanded, sailors brought cats aboard ships to protect essential cargo from rodents. This gave the species a free ticket to integrate into human transit networks across the world. While the relationship began with mutual convenience, the resulting global spread mirrors a highly effective biological takeover, leveraging our grain stores for food, our religion for status, and our ships for transport. Next time your cat locks on to an empty corner, remember they aren't calling a mothership. They are simply processing a superior sensory world, sitting in the sunlight, acting exactly like the apex predator they have always been.